Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my first update to the Pan Those Eyeshadows Project Pan. So I did also want to apologize that this video is coming out very late in the month. That was not my intention. I'm going to try to get back to like more the beginning of the month for the updates for this project. So our March update might be a little bit sooner than I would like in terms of like how much progress I will have to show you on the eyeshadows, but it is what it is. But the main thing is I'm here to update you guys and I have some really great updates. So if you don't know what this Project Pan is, it is an eyeshadow centered Project Pan. Obviously the goal is kind of just to like hit as many pans as you can. It is a rolling project and it is roulette style, so like I'm randomly picking shades to put in this project. This project was started by Alexi. I will have her linked down below, of course, as usual. I am so excited that she is doing this project again this year. Her intro will be linked in the description as well, just in case you have not seen it. If you don't know who she is or if you haven't made your way over to her channel yet, make sure you do that. You will love her channel, and I mean, if you love panning content, you're gonna love her. So definitely make sure you go on over and hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. And if you haven't watched my intro, I will leave it linked down below as well, because I am structuring this project just a little bit differently than I feel like most people do. I mean, I think everyone kind of puts their own little twist on it to suit their collection, and that's what I've done. So I was inspired by It's Just Steph. Last year, I know for her project, she would like pull one shade to work on that she got to pick herself, and I thought that was a really great idea, and I decided to structure my project this way as well. So the sixth shade in my project will be one that I choose myself. So once I hit pan on the one that I've chosen, then I would get to choose another one, if that makes sense. But I don't want to bore you if you've already watched my intro, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that in terms of project details. But I do have an update that I wanted to mention before we get into the project, and that is I am currently working on a cream colored eyeshadow. And normally for me, I really only use those types of shades to like set down my eye base or my eye primer, and to also like blend out any harsh lines, or if I'm struggling to blend a different shadow, I kind of like mix that one in and kind of help to blend out. I don't really feel like it adds anything to the color story, but I use a cream colored shadow almost every single time I do my eyeshadow, so I really don't feel like it's hurting by being in this project or anything, but I do feel like it's taking a spot that I could have for another eyeshadow that would like add to the color story. So I am going to be keeping that cream colored shade in this project, but it's kind of going to be like a bonus 7th pan. So I'm actually going to roll in an extra eyeshadow this round because I want to have like 6 actual shades that actually have like some color to them. So I'm gonna pop up a little picture of what our color story is looking like, you know, for my intro and everything, so we kind of see what we've been working with. I thought it was a very cohesive color story, and except for the blue. It was kind of the little pop of color in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start and just go through in the order that I kind of like drew them in my intro. This is the palette we are starting with, so we are gonna talk about that blue shade first. I'm really excited about this. This was probably the eyeshadow that I was kind of just like the most excited for, just because it is colorful. And if you are newer to my channel or you don't know this about me, I do really enjoy playing around with color. I love colorful eye looks. They're my favorite to do, but sometimes when I'm in a hurry, it's just easier to do a neutral look, so I do wear a lot of neutral looks as well, and I love them, don't get me wrong. I love a neutral glam look. I do think I wear neutral looks a lot more in my YouTube videos just because they're quick and easy to do, and then I can get in front of the camera quicker. Whereas if I'm doing a colorful look, it just takes a lot longer to get ready. So I am so excited to share my progress with you guys. So I'm just going to show you guys, and I'll probably have a picture of maybe like where we started if I took pictures of these. I don't know if I did. Anyways, here is the palette and what it's looking like, and I hope you guys can see. We do have pan. I hope you guys can see that. My viewfinder is like so tiny and so far away that I'm like, I can't see. But I think you guys could tell there is a little pan in there and I am just so proud of it. I had a few people tell me that this was probably going to take a little bit of time because, did I even say what this palette is? By the way, this is the Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 3. If I didn't say that, I don't think I did. I did have someone tell me that it's going to take me a really long time to pan this, and I do feel like I wouldn't be surprised if the bigger Norvina palettes, like obviously the pans in those are bigger and they're probably deeper as well, but this didn't take me very long. Because of the shade of it, it's a pigmented formula for sure, but the shade is so light that it does require a little bit of building to be this like sky blue shade, and I do feel like it looks lighter on camera than it is in person, but it is still light enough where I do feel like, you know, you do have to build it a little bit, and I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I actually didn't mind this formula at all. I think it's really nice, but I just like, if I'm going in for a colorful look, like I want it to look like it looks in the pan. Like I want it to be that intense, I want it to be that color, and so I had to use a lot of products to build up the looks, and that's just like my personal style. So I'm gonna pop up some looks that I did on the screen and kind of talk through them a little bit. One of the first looks that I did, I just tried to use this in the crease as like a transition shade for a kind of bronzy neutral type of look, which is like a little bit of pop of color. So I put it in the crease, I put it on the lower lash line. I didn't love how that look turned out, but there it is. Next, I have a picture where I ran it just on the lower lash line and on the inner corner. I had a lot of people, like I feel like a lot of people suggest to put it in the inner corner, and I hadn't thought to, like when I first pulled the shade, I was like, I didn't think to do that, and I gotta say I didn't like it, but I think if it was a lighter shade, or if maybe I had put just like a touch of the shadow in the inner corner, I might have liked it a little bit more. But again, like I mentioned, I do like to build up colorful matte shades, so I don't know, it just wasn't really my thing, I guess. I'm kind of learning that like I don't really like looks where it's like a neutral look with a pop of color that much, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, it definitely depends, but I don't know, for some reason I wasn't loving this blue as like a pop of color. I just wanted to like use it in a colorful look, you know? So another look that I did was I like put it all up in the crease, lower lash line, and then I did just like a little bit kind of on the outer portion of my eye. And then on the center of the eyelid, I went in with the blue eyeshadow that's in my whole collection project pan, and then I did the Lorac shade that's in this project. I put that on the inner portion of my lid. I did like how that one came out, though it wasn't as intense, I guess, as I was hoping for. I think maybe if I had added like some glitter or something, I would have really liked that one a lot more, but it was pretty. And I also put the blue on the lower lash line as well. I did another look where I wanted to use it with the Tarte shade that's in this project pan, and so I put it in the crease. And then because I didn't feel like the two would blend well together, I decided to go in with this pink over here, and that created like a purple, and I knew that it was going to be purpley, but I wasn't expecting it to be like as purple as it kind of came out in my crease. But then I was able to kind of blend in that Tarte shade a little bit better, so I think that one worked out, but it definitely was not my favorite look. I think it would have worked better if I was going for just like a straight up colorful look. So then I did two looks using this blue shade with like, where I just wanted to go like full on color. And one of them I forgot to take a picture of, but it's okay because I feel like it's a very basic look. But basically I just put it in a crease, blended it out really well, and then packed it on the lid, then ran it on the lower lash line. It's like a one and done look. Super duper easy, and I am actually going to be doing a tutorial where I do that same, like those same steps to create a look. I am going to be using it with a different shadow, but that tutorial will be coming soon for anyone who is interested, and you can literally use any matte shade for it. So I think it'll be a cool and quick tutorial, super fun. So I just wanted to mention that, but I didn't take a picture of that because I forgot. But the other colorful shade or look that I did, I was really feeling it. I was really liking how it came out, and then I ruined it. But I used it in the crease, on the lower lash line as well, but in the crease I ended up doing kind of a cut crease, kind of made a gradient with this green. So I started with that in the crease, and then a little bit lower I went in with this green, and it turned out really, really pretty. I was really, really liking it, but then I decided to try to do like this white liner, as you can see in the picture, and didn't turn out the way that I wanted to. It was kind of, I got a little messy with it. I wasn't as precise as I wanted it to be, and it just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't actually look that bad probably, but it just wasn't like as crisp as I wanted it to be, and that made me sad. And then I kind of just like, I'm over this look now. So I don't know, but there's that. So I'm really excited. I just really want to roll in some more colorful shades. This was super fun to work on, and this is a palette that I like had never reached for before, so it was just sitting in my collection. But that's it for that shade. I did use it a total of 6 times, which might seem pretty crazy, I know, in like hitting pan in 6 uses, but that's just what happens with me in matte colorful shades. Like if it was a darker shade, it probably would have taken me a lot longer, but because of the color, like it was pretty easy to pan. Moving on, I do have the cream colored shade that I was talking about earlier, where I'm just going to turn this into like a 7th pan in the project and monitor my usage on it, but once it's rolled out, I won't be rolling in anything in its place. If I roll in any other cream colored eyeshadow before this is rolled out, I won't roll that into the project, and then after this is rolled out, if I roll in another cream colored eyeshadow, I'll do the same thing where it's kind of just this 7th pan that's like a little bit of a bonus in this project. So this is the shade Classic. This is from the Melt Cosmetics Rust Stack. I did depot it, obviously. And yeah, I mean, there's like a little bit of a dip going, but this is like massive eyeshadow pan. Like this isn't even a full-size eyeshadow pan. This is like a double full-size eyeshadow pan, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of product in here. I really honestly don't know when I'll be able to hit pan on it, because it's like I don't use that much of it to set my eye with, and like, I don't know, you know what I mean? So I use this 8 times. And like I mentioned, it is a very yellow undertone cream shade. So I can't use it with like cool toned eyeshadows. It doesn't look right in my opinion, and it's probably not super noticeable, but like I notice it and I don't like it. So I didn't use it for every single look that I did, but if it was more neutral, I probably would have. I just wanted to kind of point that out. So I am going to swatch this, even though it doesn't really show up, but I'll do my best. Like it kind of shows up. It's not just, yeah, it's just a boring shade, and I don't know, I'd rather have like 6 like actual shades, do you know what I mean? And I would like show you guys pictures for that one, but like it's not like you can see the eyeshadow in action or anything. So alright, and then I think the next shade that I have to talk about comes from my Glam palette from Natasha Denona. So this shade was not really a focus for me. I feel like this shade is a little bit, I don't know, and it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel super duper inspired to use it right now. So I've only used it twice, so I mean I obviously don't have pan on it, but I'll show you what it is. So it's this shade right here. That's it right there. It's like this kind of gray bronzy shade. It is beautiful, but I feel like there's only like, I can put it all over the lid and it could be like a nice, you know, grungy smoky eye, or I can put it on the outer portion of my eyelid to kind of smoke it out, make it a little bit deeper. Like I definitely like there's definitely uses for it, but I guess I'm just a little like, yeah, that's a neutral. Like I can use it, whatever, but it wasn't as inspiring as like that matte blue, you know, shade. So this will be a focus shade for the next update. I think I had one eye look where I just went all neutral, no blue, and I did put it on the like outer portion of my eyelid. Yeah, the other time I used it, I think, was the time where I put the blue on the lower lash line and in the inner corner. And so the next shade comes from my Tartelette in Bloom palette from Tarte, obviously. And this I only used twice as well, which is a bummer because I really do like this shade. And I think this one will take me quite a long time to pan, like I'm pretty sure about that. The shade I'm working on is this guy right here. It's the shade Leader. There is, I think, these two, like, I do think go well together, so I definitely can kind of focus in on them together, I think. But this next, until like for the next update, I do want to focus on both of like this palette and the Glam palette and just focus on actually using them as whole palettes a couple times, hopefully. The next shade that I have is from the Lorac Noir palette. This palette is really, really new to my collection, so obviously had no use on it prior. It's a pretty stunning shade, and I really have been enjoying it, so I'll go ahead and show you what it's looking like. And it's this guy right here, and I hope you guys can tell. Oh yeah, I think you can tell. There's a pretty massive dip in there. These shimmer shades in here, not all of them, but a lot of them are that kind of, I don't know what this formula is called. I don't know what the industry has been calling this, but it reminds me of those shades that are like in the Huda Beauty palettes and like in the Stone Vibes palette from Urban Decay, where they kind of have that like pearl kind of like marbled into the pan. This one, like all the little like textured bits are the same color as the shade itself, so it doesn't have that same look, but it is that same texture, and they're very creamy. Like, they're not exactly like ColourPop status, like Super Shock shades, but they are close to that. I feel like they're close to that like creaminess, but I think they still are technically a powder, like so kind of like a hybrid powder cream eyeshadow thing going on here, and they're really, really beautiful. I'll go ahead and swatch. Why haven't I done that yet? I don't know, but look how stunning that is. So very reflective, just like very beautiful. Again, I think we're still very cohesive with this color story. I think I can definitely use these together. I mean, I have used them together and, you know, they work, but it was that blue that was kind of throwing me off because I was like, how do I incorporate these together? I'm really close on hitting pan on this guy, I think. Like, I just need to use it. Yeah, I think I will have pan on this by the next update and hopefully some good progress on those other two shades, but this is a stunning, stunning palette. Oh, by the way, that shade is called Primrose. I don't know why I didn't say that, but I used that 6 times. And I did use my finger with it a lot, so like, that was the other thing I was going to say when I was talking about how it's kind of similar to a ColourPop shade, is that it's very malleable, so it like, is that the right word? I feel like I didn't say it right. But it like moves around a lot as you like put your finger in, and also with like a brush and stuff, so it's gonna be really easy to hit pan on, I feel like, because it just kind of like, the product just moves. I do think I can have pan on this by the next update, but I am really enjoying this so far, and yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next shade. Alright, so that brings us to the last eyeshadow, which is the one that I picked myself. Like I mentioned, the 6th shade in here is the one that I'm going to be picking myself. This is a really old palette in my collection. It is the Studio Makeup On The Go Cool Down palette, and I really do like this palette. I don't think it's like necessarily like hands down like the best palette or anything like that, but it's a decent formula that I enjoyed in the past, and I had such a big dip on one of the shades in here because I would use it all the time, and I'm pretty excited to share that I do have pan on it. It is the babiest of pans, so I don't know if you guys will be able to see it from here, but I'm gonna go ahead and hold it here so you guys can hopefully see. So I hope that's in focus, but yeah, hopefully you guys can see that little baby pan. So this is just like a really pretty brown. It's a nice cool tone brown. It's great for, you know, that transition, like in the crease. It's great for just all like on its own, and I really like the formula of that one. It's really soft, blendable, pigmented. It only took me 3 uses to hit pan. That's how much of a dip I had in it. The fact that it's been sitting in my collection and I could have just used the palette 3 more times and I would have had pan in it is crazy to me. Like, this is why we project pan, you know? One of the reasons, one of the many reasons. But this is rolling out of the project, and that means that one of the shades that I get to roll in today is one that I get to pick, which is pretty exciting. So these 2 are rolling out. The cream colored shade is becoming like a bonus pan, so I am actually rolling in 3, which means I'm randomizing 2 numbers to pick from my spreadsheet that has all my pans listed, and then I get to just pull a shade from a palette that I want to work on, or a single shadow. We'll see what our color story ends up looking like. So I have my spreadsheet up, and I will be pulling up my Pretty Random app. This is your your reminder here that I really love eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes. I own quite a few, and this is a judgment-free zone. No, you guys were really cool. I don't think I got any rude comments about how many eyeshadows I own, so I was worried about that because people can be, you know, the internet can just be a really weird place. So thank you guys for being chill. Randomizing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and randomize my two numbers and then we will see what they are, and yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and shake that. Okay, so we have 1,997, and then we're gonna go ahead and shake it again. Okay, and then 2,691. So let me find those. I think I saw maybe what the second shadow was, and I'm nervous, but oh, what is that? Let me go get this one. So I'm gonna show you the two that I randomized, and then I'll come back after I picked my last shade. I just want to make sure that it goes with the color story. The first eyeshadow is a little weird because I had it in my spreadsheet listed as a NYX shade, but I did not have any eyeshadows with this name for NYX, so I think I just messed up, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I only have one eyeshadow. It's a pretty unique name. So it's actually this Becca product. It was like a collab with Chrissy Teigen, and it's their Glow Soufflé eyeshadow and highlighter duo, and this is in the shade Cinnamon Churro. It has like this bottom to it, and I guess this is a highlight. I thought it was an eyeshadow, but there's like a plastic film over it that I never took off, and it is like a cream, liquidy, creamy type of thing, and so I don't know if it's still good. It literally smells like cinnamon churros. Like, well, maybe not like, yeah, no, it smells like churros. What the heck? I love the smell of churros, man. This is the most amazing discovery ever. But now I really want churros. But like I want like good, like fluffy churros. Like, not the ones that are really hard and crispy all the way through, but the ones that are like crispy on the outside but like soft on the inside. Those are the kinds of churros that I want. I don't know if I've ever used this. So this is the shade. I'm so sorry. This is the shade right here. We are having a neutral moment over here, which is, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. This will just mean that I get to film a lot because I'll be like doing super quick neutral looks, and then I'll be like, okay, time to hop on the camera. On the camera? On camera? On camera. That's this guy. So I'm not gonna, I mean, this is the highlighter, the one that smells like churros. This is the highlighter, so I'm not gonna, obviously I'm not painting that, but this one, this right here, we will be trying to hit pan. I have no idea how deep this is, so. All right, and then I have another single eyeshadow. So we have 3 single eyeshadows in this project now, and we're keeping the theme of having one colorful shade. So the shade that I chose, or that I randomized, is from Lethal Cosmetics. So I have quite a few Lethal Cosmetics shades, and I haven't really played around with them much yet. This is the shade. Look how pretty that is. Ooh, I haven't even swatched it yet. Who am I? Oh my god. I am so excited for this. Ooh. Do you see that? That is like not a good area to swatch it, but I love it. I love it so much. I cannot wait. Oh, I cannot wait to put that on my eyelids. I feel like my Pan Those eyeshadows like always, I feel like I'm always getting purples, and I'm okay with that. I get tired of them really quickly, I feel like, but then I always come back to really enjoying them. So there's that guy. The shade is Descent, by the way. I don't think I said that because I was too excited to swatch it. I don't really see myself hitting pan on it super quickly, but like I can pan matte shades, like matte colorful shades really easily, but like matte shimmer, like colorful shimmer shades are a little bit different, I feel, so I don't think I'm gonna hit pan on it very quickly, but that's okay because it is new. So I think I need a matte. I think I need a nice matte transition shade. So either a matte neutral shade or a colorful matte shade that I could pair with the purple. I'm gonna kind of go look at some of my older palettes that I want to see some pan in, and see if anything kind of pops in as like, you know, just like the perfect choice to complete this color story. Okay, so it was actually really easy to pick a shade. As soon as I picked up the palette, I knew that that was the one that I wanted to hit pan in next of like the palettes that are older in my collection that I really want to see pan in this year. And the palette is the Master palette by Mario and ABH. This is an old palette, but it's so beautiful. And the shade I'm going to go ahead and pick is actually this shade right here, Isabel. And I think it's going to, I didn't swatch it yet, but I think it's going to pair nicely with these warmer tones. Since I don't have a matte transition shade for this color story, I figure why not just go ahead and go in with this one. So it is a little on the orangey side, which I think it's going to work well for the neutral shades that I have. So hopefully you guys can see it's right there. Sorry, I'm starting to like run out of hand room here, but the color story that we're going to work with, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm definitely more open to maybe playing around with that purple shade with these neutrals. Like I'm liking the purple in there a lot more than I was liking the blue in with some of those neutral shades. So we'll definitely see what happens, but let me know what would be some color combos that you would play around with if this was the color story you were working with. I feel like this primrose shade from the Lorac palette is leaning a lot more warm toned now that it's paired more with other, like with the warm tones of the other shades. Like this one's still cool toned, but like, I don't know. So we shifted from like a cooler toned theme to this warm tone. I definitely think that I will have pan in this Lorac primrose shade. And then as far as the other ones go, I don't know if I'm gonna have any more pans. Like I want to focus in on these two shades, the Tartlette one and the Natasha Denona shade, but I feel like those are going to take quite a while to hit pan on. I do want to focus on them, but I just don't think I'm going to have pan in them by the next update. I hope you enjoyed this update. I thought it was pretty successful, off to a good start. I already have 2 pans this year, which makes me feel pretty dang good. I'm really excited and I'm glad I have at least 1 pop of color. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like this project. Other than that, while you're here, if you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, and definitely leave me a comment down below. Again, tell me what color combos are catching your eye. Let me know if you've hit pan on any eyeshadows recently, and if you're doing this project, definitely let me know down below so I can make sure to check out your updates. I love watching these project pans. I get so much inspiration from them, so yeah, definitely let me know. Other than that, I am pretty much all done here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're staying safe, staying healthy, and hydrated. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.